Alright, here we go. So in this video, I want to explore more of this idea of, well, I like what I've been reading in this book, A Matter of Death and Life, and I was telling my partner about it yesterday, I believe it was. I mean, I started reading it yesterday, so yeah, it was yesterday. It's highly beneficial to get insight regarding a life lived, right? Especially from people who are successful. Um, but it's also this idea of like going to a nursing home and talking to people who regret a lot, because you get a sense of priorities, what's important, standards, all that stuff. And so regarding where I'm at now and everything, the reason why it's so beneficial for me to be in this space of awareness is because I'm working with time management, I'm working with energy management and everything. This goes into the whole, what you're used to will use you. And it's just the reality of the matter. So kind of looking at it from the standpoint, like, through the lens of this book, um, an existential psychiatrist, I believe, Yalom. He very very interesting how he explores kind of like the meaning in life and everything, and how that kind of unfolds for him or unfolded for him in that book and stuff. And I'm just thinking about it for myself, and I'm really diving into like I'm really happy that I'm in the space of awareness that I am, and I've cultivated the habits that I have because it's really helped me create a foundation of priorities for myself. And I know what it is that's important to me and everything, and just being able to further like move into a very serious lifestyle of just continuing to pursue those things. And I'm excited to be here because it's fun to kind of like see how life evolves and everything, even on a day-to-day basis. Like my energy has shifted, my energy is continuing to shift. And yeah, I think that another thing, of course, that I've been working on too is um, shifting my focus from the past to the future, but not bringing the energy from the past into the future, right? Because that would be a familiar past, and that would create a predictable future, and I'm not trying to do that. Um, so it's really cool to see how things are evolving for me. And similarly, I'm happy that I had that insight, that moment where like something was brought up, and like my mind was like, okay, well, how much time and energy do you want to invest into this? That's the question. And it's either going to be none, it's either going to be it's either going to be none, a little, medium, a lot, whatever like you just go from there. And I think that that's really a really cool space of awareness to be in, because the more you sit in that, the more you ground in that, it really has the capacity to just transform how you not only approach but altogether experience life. So I'm really excited about that. And you know I have a good understanding for what needs to happen in my life moving forward. And being in that space of awareness, it's challenging because, like what you have in your life, who you have in your life, all that kind of stuff, it all affects it on a very serious level. And when you're not serious about where you're putting your time and your energy, and you're just living from a place of, okay, well, that's familiar, so I'm just going to keep recycling that, that's going to keep repeating itself. No, it's not beneficial. That's going to mess you up in the long run. You don't want that. Um, and so, like, I'm kind of just like working on like maintaining presence in my day-to-day life, and just like being present with what is, not worrying about anything from the past, focusing on how I want things to look like in the future, and just kind of like living in that space of awareness. And it's really cool because I have these times where like I'll revert to the past, and then all of a sudden it's future. Let's focus there, right? And it's very powerful. It's great. I'm excited about that, and I'm excited for that influence to keep presenting itself in my life, because now that I have that method and mode of thinking, it really it alters the way that I experience life altogether, and that's really cool. And there's nothing but evolution moving forward. So it's really cool to see how things are going to like evolve moving forward. Um, but yeah, like, you know, reading is something I said something in yesterday's video that was super important for me, and I need to maintain this, and I need to remember this because it'll be it'll be very helpful for me. It'll be very beneficial for me moving forward if I can, you know, really just like maintain this way of living. And that was that. Now let me make this very clear. I'm not against social media. I think that social media is a great tool to connect with people, also to, you know, build a brand, build a business, like whatever it is that you're trying to do. But in terms of consumption and what it can do for you, um, I'm going to compare social media to books. So social media is candy, books are fruit, and I continue that because it's just a very powerful way of looking at things. I'm definitely gonna tell my partner about. She also enjoys reading, and yeah, it's like it's a really important way to look at it because when you read, you know, like you're expanding your mind. You're filling your mind with rich knowledge and, you know, wonder, and like it's just it's an incredible experience. So just kind of like broadening the you know, like expanding, just continuing to expand. That's what this is all about. So yeah, that's really cool and exciting. Um, One last thing I want to talk about. So in terms of thinking about the future, I've also been thinking a lot about different emotions that I don't really want to like be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I don't want to continue recycling emotions that are not necessary. It's kind of like the idea of like trading frustration for gratitude. It's like, okay, you could get frustrated that this, that, and the other happened, but you could also be grateful for the potential of something like that. You know, like it's just I'm working on that, and that's been a very powerful experience for me. Um, Also, different emotions that I wake up with. I no longer wake up with emotions that are from the past, and I've been realizing that. And it's a very cool thing because, yeah, I wake up in peace. I wake up in stillness, in a very deep sense of calm. Um, it's cool. It's very cool. So basically, just looking at my future and being like, yep, not that anymore, not that either. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, you know, just kind of like projecting all of the necessary, um, the essentials, you know, into the future that I am, yeah, that I'm consciously creating for myself. Um, and that's about. Oh yeah, no, this is literally the last thing that I want to talk about here. Uh, so again, what you're used to will use you. A lot of people are very used to stress. They're very used to anxiety and depression, right? That's become repeated cycles for them. It's become automatic. So they just wake up with that, and then something happen. Nothing even has to happen. It's just programmed into you. So then at like, I don't know, 9 or 10 a.m., right? Bam, stress. Bam, anxiety. Bam, you know, like depression. Like it just hits. Um, I just think it's very interesting because that is being used by emotions. But instead, you can actually use emotions productively. Um, so instead of being used by the emotions, especially these low energy negative emotions that are just pulling you down, you can generate positive, elevating emotions like, you know, like joy, peace, stillness, excitement, euphoria, all that kind of stuff. And that, once you get your body used to that, right? Once you get your body used to that, it can profoundly transform your way of life because you're no longer continuing to generate these past familiar emotions that just are not beneficial for you. And I just think that's really cool, and I'm excited to continue practicing that in my life. So, yeah.